Welcome to Crocktober week 3. Crocktober is a time that I've chosen to make 2 crockpot recipes a week in the month of October. Today I'm prepping beef tips and gravy. I don't trust a lot of Pinterest recipes, but beef tips is kind of a foolproof thing. I hope I'm not saying that in vain right now. I'm using moose because we need to get through it. If you don't have moose, use beef. Also, you're supposed to use stew meat. This is prime rib steak. I need to use half of it. That's probably half. I want pretty big chunks because it'll break down. So this is 1 pound. The full recipe is 2. If I haven't mentioned, I am cutting this recipe in half. You're supposed to put the meat at the bottom of the crock pot, so that's what I'm doing. In a separate bowl, we're gonna add all the other ingredients, stir them up, and then add it to the crock pot. So I'm gonna start with a tablespoon and a half of garlic. That's probably a tablespoon minced. And I have my garlic crusher dude. Hopefully the garlic is thawed enough. Nope, not quite. Okay, so I'm gonna do half a teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of black pepper. I like my pepper, come on. 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme. I would like to make a video of like all the dried things that I use, all the dried mixes, like Bisquick and onion soup mix. I've done gravy before. I want to make the cream of anything like base. I'm just going to shake this around because I'm only using half of this. So I'm just going to kind of guess on that. 1 cup of beef broth. I had this left over from my rabbit stew the other night. A tablespoon and a half of ketchup. Oh, excuse me. That's probably more, but that's okay. And then a half tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. That's probably somewhere around a little over half. Now I need a tablespoon and a half of cornstarch. Oops. Hopefully my garlic dude will be ready to work. Oh yeah. It doesn't take long to thaw this. He does such a good job. Thanks, garlic dude. Since this has cornstarch, I am gonna whisk it. Just whisk it violently. Now I just dump that on there, and it says 7 to 8 hours as opposed to normally it's 6 to 8. This is a half recipe though. And of course this goes on low, 7 to 8 hours, and I'm off to the farm. Okay, I am so glad that I had this made. Here's what it's looking like. This makes it fancier when you put it on top. Instantly fancy. Let's dribble some. There we go. Oh yeah, it's a magazine. Tonight, I'm gonna throw this together. Y'all have to see my butter keeper. It's not really a butter keeper, but it is now. We're making pumpkin pie cake for the crock pot. So we're starting off with a 1/4 And I'm cutting this in half so I can use my little crock pot. 1/4 cup of softened butter. 1 cup of packed brown sugar. Hopefully my dog's starting to get some energy, so he's going to be loud in a minute. It's packed enough for me. And cream that together. It's not much butter. This calls for 3 eggs, and I just happen to have a young chicken, so this is 1.5, okay? I'm doing that. If you don't have a young chicken, you probably need more chickens. And I don't test them, I just dump it in there. Now it's getting a little more creamed. There we go. The full recipe would be 15 ounces, which is what I process my butternut squash into. And because I'm doing half, I just flattened it out, made a line halfway, and this is how I'm going to do it. Oops. Any of the winter squashes, pumpkin, butternut, tromboncino, acorn squash, any of those will work as a substitute for pumpkin. That's my 7.5 ounces of pumpkin, and I just whisk that in. Now we're starting the dry ingredients. 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour. 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking powder. 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda. 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. It can be homemade. Usually I make my own for pumpkin bread. 1/16 of ground cloves, because cloves are strong. 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I'm going to go ahead and whisk this together. Now back to our liquid. We're going to add this. It says gradually, but this is a half recipe. I'm just going for it. Apparently, slow cookers have a hot side and a cooler side. If you need to, partway through, you can turn it. You can turn it. I might just turn it just for the heck of it. I'm here anyway. We need a way to get this cake out without just like spooning crumbles out. So, you're supposed to make a full collar and like tab or something. I'm just gonna line the whole thing full somehow. So that the lid fits on well. I trimmed that down. And then you want to spray it. Now you pour in the prepared slow cooker. Now we put it on high and it goes for 3 hours, but don't forget halfway through you might want to rotate it. I think I'm going to. It is halfway time. So I don't think this is going to take as long as it said, probably because I'm doing it in this small one. You know what? Just out of curiosity. No, that is not done at all. I hope I didn't ruin this. The outside looks real done. Full usually isn't like super hot. So let's just try this. Yeah. It came out real clean. Ah! am impressed. Let's see if it's done in the middle. I'm a little worried about the edges, so I don't really care if it's done. All in all, cook time was 2 hours. Now you could make icing for this, or I think in the recipe you sprinkle it with powdered sugar, but I'm not gonna bother. Huh, looks like a cake. I don't like it. I do not like it. You know who will? If you like this video, feel free to subscribe. I upload some Wednesdays and all Sundays, and you can keep watching us grow our farm. Have a good one.